to see all of you guys, to empower at least one person. If I can empower at least one person every time that I go live, I know that I've done my duty. I know that I've achieved what I've been looking to achieve here. I'm not looking to empower millions on these streams. I'm looking to empower at least one person, because I know if I can empower one person, that one person is going to go on and continue the teachings. They're going to continue and embody what it is that I've been talking about here over the years. So today I want to talk about some credit hacks. What are some credit hacks? Many of you guys are looking for the specific hacks and the loopholes. What do I need to know? What do I need to study? What must I obtain to be able to get the outcome and see the results that you yourself have been getting? And so I'll let you guys know, the biggest thing is understanding that credit is life and debt is death. And so what do I mean by that? Credit is life. Well, if we look at life, and everybody should be looking at life in the sense of energy, right? Everything is energy. Well, if we understand energy, we understand that everything within or with energy operates on a specific level of vibration. Right? There's something called the law of vibrations. And what does that mean? That means that there's frequencies, right? In the beginning was the word. Right? In the beginning was the word. Right? The word, what is the word? The word is, different depending on the language and the tongue. And if we speak on these, dialects that we're speaking modern day, these are only a couple hundred, not even, tens or thousands of years old. And this universe is billions of years old. And so I don't think it's a specific language, but the word is sound, and sound is a frequency. If we've ever looked into somatic frequencies, which if not, I highly advise all of you guys to go look into somatic frequencies. Right, that's showing you guys the power of sound and vibration. And when you guys speak life into things, what it will ultimately bring back to you. If you speak life into your water, the healing properties that come from it and the crystallizations that form when you speak life into your water, when you speak life to your children, the transformation within their DNA that is altering as well too. And so in the beginning was the word. And so these are the levels of vibration. These are the frequencies that I'm referring to. And so many of us are looking to go out and operate on these frequencies of freedom, of liberation, of being able to go out there and discharge these debts from our consumer reports. But many of us are also vibrating on very low frequencies of hope, begging maybe, wishing that these things would come to light. When if I told you guys that in every single transaction, and I have told you guys time and time again here on the channel, that you are the creditor in every single transaction. What does that mean? That means that we are giving life. And once again, let's look at everything on the energy standpoint to all of these corporations. If we think about what a corporation is, it's simply a piece of paper. I want all of you guys to go to Title 28 USC 3002 and go look up the term number 15. It'll tell you that the United States itself is a federal corporation. Well, all of you guys that email me down below as well, so you guys can email either one in the description and reach out. You guys will see as well that each state is also a corporation. Each county is also a corporation. They have an EIN number. They've got a tax identification number, a TIN number, no different than you go set up an LLC today. You're gonna need a TIN number to set up a bank account and to be taxed on. And so what I want you guys to understand, and also the IRS themselves is a entity, it's a corporation. They themselves are also a foreign corporation. And so just like the Washington DC is a foreign corporation, not of the United States. And so back on track with what I'm speaking on in the sense of credit being life and debt is death. Okay, well, if credit is life and if everything within life is energy, we must be operating on higher frequencies in order to receive what it is that we're desiring, the outcome of getting these debts discharged. You must have a knowing that you're the creditor. You must have a knowing that these, debts will be discharged, not hoping, not begging. And that's why I've gotten into the teaching and consulting side more so, in terms of if anybody's looking to pay for my services. I don't offer, done for self services in that standpoint, because I'm here to liberate and enlighten each and every single one of you guys and show you guys the power that's within each and every single one of y'all. Once I can show you guys and, just be a mirror to showing you guys the power that's within, I know that I've done my job, here on planet Earth just as a whole. It's a lot bigger than removing some debts off of one's consumer reports. I've been able to remove any and everything, so I'm not in the, position of having to prove my teachings to anybody nor anything. I've been able to remove any account on a consumer report. And so I say this all to say, we've got to go within, and so I wanted to do a couple things with you guys here within. And what do you mean debt is death? Well, first of all, debt is an illusion. If we think of an illusion, time is also an illusion. All of these things in which they've given to us and shown to us are illusions. Debt is, something that is created from something that we're giving to them. So how can I owe you something that I created in the first place? How can I owe you this amount when this amount was created from the origination of my credit card? I want you all, and we talked about this on the last live within Truth and Lending's definitions of 15 USC 1602, to go look up the term credit card and what a credit card is and what it truly means, right? Well, if all of this is coming from our credit card, and if, even many people think a debt is just an amount owed, right? A debt is an obligation or an alleged obligation, right? So we've got to get the definitions clear before anything. Many of us don't even know the proper definitions and meanings of these words, and we're basing our whole life and our whole mindset and our whole frequency and the frequency that we're operating in. Many of us are operating in a state of scarcity, in a state of, of fear, fear of these debt collectors coming to you and, suing you in the courts. Many of you guys are, fearful that your wages will be garnished. Well, yeah, they will if you don't, act on it. Silence is admission. And that's where the power comes. Like, you have the ability to not only go out and discharge any debt, but you can also go back and do business with any bank that you've discharged the debts with. There's not one bank that can deny you guys of your guys' right. And that's why the video that I created, how can one be denied their God-given right? This is our God-given right, to be able to extend our credit to any one of these corporations. When we're extending our credit, we're giving life to all of these corporations to allow currency to flow. If we think about what currency is, it's a current. If we think of what a current is, it's simply, within the sense of a river, it's a flow. Right? How do things flow? Through movement. What is movement? Sound, it's energy ultimately, and so I say this all to say, and getting back to, for those that are just tuning in or watching the replay, really listen to my words here in the beginning. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was sound. And so I want you guys to be very aware of the words that you guys are putting out there. I challenge you guys every single day to affirm 10 things that you guys want more of in your life. I am so happy and grateful now that I am, that I am that I am. I am so happy and grateful now that blank by December 31st of 2026, I've accomplished this. I'm so happy and grateful that by my birthday, September 4th of 2026, I've accomplished this and I've done this and I am this and I am that I am that I am. I challenge you guys every day to affirm these 10 things, 10 things that you guys are looking to be, and really that you already are, because you are that already, right? There is nothing to become. Right, you simply are that already, and that's all about going within. And ultimately, that's my mission, and that's why I'm more on the consulting side of things. And so, lastly, I want to take a couple deep breaths with you guys before I finish out and watch the sunset. And I advise you guys every morning, every rising, and every setting to watch the sunrise, to watch the sunset. To do, many different things for you. All right, so let's take 3 deep breaths. You want to come in here, Leilani? Take 3 deep breaths. She's lit about this ball. She knocked all over. All right, we'll take 3 deep breaths and one this here. Let it go. Pull it in. All that you want, all that you are. Hold it. Let it go. Last one, I want you to breathe in all of the removals. I want you to breathe in all of the abundance. I want you to breathe in your accounts on the personal side and the business credit side being funded to fund your businesses, to where your businesses can expand and grow and be creating cash flow for you guys to free up your guys' time. From there, you guys being able to invest that capital. You know, for those that are ready to invest, you guys are coming back and doing business with me to where I'm helping you guys get that cash flow, 7-8% pref returns annually, and you guys are getting that tax mitigation. All right, we're getting aware of these tax loopholes that the wealth have been doing since the beginning of time. All right, so we're gonna breathe all this in, whatever it is that you guys desire. Breathe in. Hold it. Let it go. All right, family, watch this replay. Definitely a great live for you guys to go back through and truly get the life hacks, right? Credit is life. I want you guys to start walking in your power. I want you to understand that the power is in your hand. If we go to Deuteronomy 15, it states, you will lend to many nations, but you will borrow from none. In every single transaction, you are the lender, or you are the lender. Yes, you are never the borrower. You never have been the borrower. You've always been the lender in every single transaction, and you always will be. And it's time to take back our power. These are corpse, right? A corp is a dead entity. We're giving life to all these corpse, right? So I want y'all to understand, walk in your power, understand who you are, and I'll see y'all soon, man.